weather's already been rolled, so we don't have to worry for that. So we'll just get straight into this. Turn 6 Germans. I've got a self rally in X0/X10, so I'll try to rally that guy first. Nope. The DM will come off. I have a rally in AA6 on board P. Hey, I don't get anything cool out of that, but take it. I do get
That's
heated battle.
twice in one game.
Well, in one game, that's not gonna mean that much. Once we start getting to like six six twos and tons of box cards, that's when it'll get impressive. Um, so that does count for heated battle. Uh, so heated battle dice. That's a 9. They were broken. So yeah, I think so. But 10. They are technically inexperienced, so they would get an extra 1. Nothing else. Treat as berserk, so it's berserk regardless. Yeah, and I don't. I'm pretty sure the yeah. There's no quarter, so that berserk. Now the question I now have is: does berserk only occur if it's against a infantry target, or does berserk count for any sort of unit? And I'm now trying to find my berserk counters. Infantry, charge, heated battle. There we go. So they are permanently berserk. So just put a white counter on them. And let's double check the rules here. Because if they can't berserk for running at the vehicle, then they just battle harden, I believe. Yada yada yada, charge. No, no enemy unit. Okay, cool. So that's going to be an interesting choice to make. That's a broken machine gun, so I'm not going to worry about that. Down on the bottom, I got X1. Got 2 squads there. So top, bottom. The both squads rally, thanks to the -1 for being in woods. We can now not have to worry about that anymore. And that's it for my rallies.
All right, I think I've got a couple. No, I think I rallied everybody.
Yeah, you're fine everywhere.
Yeah, I had the one guy and he rallied last round, so.
Cool. All right, so let's go into fire phase.
Oh, wait, I'm sorry.
Oh,
I need to check the malfunction on that vehicle.
oh, you want to repair it? Okay, go ahead.
Nope.
Close. All right, prep fire phase. What do I want to do? Okay. All right. Well, the habitual leader 2 squads will shoot into X6. So it's a 8 up 4. They will not do anything. That's 4 firepower. Not likely to do anything. The 3 squads here group, and they'll shoot at the same target in X6. So it's 8 firepower effective And I think the worst of them is a +5. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that
So-
looks about right.
No, it is not gonna do it. All right. And lastly, up top, S4 is going to shoot at T1. So it's going to be an 8 firepower flat. 1 MC.
Passive.
Right. And moving phase.
Zerk guy first, I guess.
Yeah, he has to go first. Both vehicles are equidistant, so it's, I don't want to say trivial. Yeah, it doesn't, I don't think it really matters. So he's going to run into BB6.
Yeah, the vehicle will fire.
Mm-hmm.
Might as well. So I think he's in the covered arc of the front as well as the port machine gun.
See, that I'm not. It. I think it looks weird for how the counter is oriented. So maybe it's just the orientation of the counter, but sure.
Well, hold on. Let me check. You have no idea how tempted I was to buy this particular issue.
To buy a what?
This particular issue of Spec Ops is available as a PDF.
Oh yeah. Yeah, the on Wargame Vault, they're all available. The Spec Ops magazines aren't. They're okay. I wouldn't. I'm not sure if many people hold them in very high regard.
He's not in the port arc. A7 would be in his arc, but not the Hex event. So
Okay.
just the front. I'm half firepower, but it's doubled, so that's just a 2.
And it's a down. Should be down 2 for non-assault movements, and open ground.
+2 for motion. I
Oh,
believe.
right. Yeah.
Well, no, that's +2 TH. Does that?
I think it's. I think it might still count, but let's check. It's always a value to check. Oh, you know what? It might be that there's no +2 because your firepower is moved. Firing consequences must add motion to hit. When firing ordnance, all other types of firepower from such a vehicle are halved as motion fire, which is cumulative with any other firepower modifications, such as advancing fire or mounted fire. So it does not
So
say
it's
you.
a 2 flat, basically. Is what it sounds
Yeah.
like.
No, it doesn't say that you had the the
two down,
+2. Yeah.
All right, sounds good. And that's a 5 normal morale check, which
They pass. Barely. That's gonna leave 1. Anything else?
Can the other vehicle fire at it? I mean, I think it's going to get a +1. Yeah.
Yeah, it'll still be -2, but a +1 for the other vehicle.
So down one. Yeah, sure, why not?
Okay. And then his last move, he doesn't have to. Normally, you take a what's called a patsy check. It's I forget I forget what the name is. I was like, just looking at it too. It's like pre AFV advance slash attack task check. So because they're berserk, they don't take it. But normally, if you advance a squad or a half squad into the same hex as a vehicle, they have to pass what's called a patsy check.
Okay.
So they're now in the same hex, and I can't do anything with them anymore.
So here's a question for you: If
Okay.
are they going to be able to CC the vehicle? Like, what's going to happen?
So they will be able to CC a vehicle. The only thing to really keep in mind is that aside from if a vehicle is immobilized, I believe a vehicle is never held in melee. So if my half squad, if they don't do anything for whatever reason, basically what it just means is in your movement phase you can just drive off and there's no problem. In the when looking at the close combat table, there is a line for versus a motion slash non-stop vehicle, which is what this would be. So you essentially there's a +2 to the to any attack that my guys would try to make, so it gets tougher. And I think because they're not, I forget if they have to be marked in CC if they're against a vehicle. So I'm gonna check that because that might affect if I put if I manage to put down some triple point blank fire. I can. Okay.
So, C versus a vehicle.
Yeah, there's no change if it's vehicle or not. It just says uh, the Berserk unit may also attack with triple point blank fire during its advanced fire phase, but this triple point blank fire is halved due to taking place in the advanced fire phase. Survivors not held in melee and the stack. So the CC counter only goes on after the advanced fire phase. All right, cool. Other moves. What do I want to do for moves? I'm gonna have my half squad go into Y2 for 1. Then continue into Z2 for 2. And then Z3 for 3.
Okay.
The squad is going to assault move 1 into X2. And then the leader is going to go into Y2 for 1. Z2 for 2. And then end in AA2. Resrup 24 over here, and Z8 is going to dash into the woods at X9. So he's going to go into Y9.
What's my modifier for firing at him?
It's down 2 for open ground non-assault movement, but halved.
He's adjacent, so that would be doubled. So that negates that. Yeah, the vehicle will fire at him.
Okay.
With the starboard machine gun, which is in that hex, I believe. That is the covered arc for that.
Should be, yeah.
Yeah, it's like it splits along the Y9, AA9, like that hex
Yeah,
row.
yeah.
Okay, so that is halved or doubled halved
and down 2.
It's right, and they're not in motion, right?
Yeah, they're not in motion. Barely nothing.
Anything else?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, so he makes it into X9. The conscripts in Z5 on board P are going to move into Y5 for 1. Continue into X4 for 2. And then W5 for 3.
Okay.
And my guys in Z10 are going to go into Y1 for 1. X1 for 2. And W1 for 3.
Okay.
This is like the dumbest thing I can do, so I mean, why not? The leader is going to assault move into AA7.
Okay.
And the squad is going to go into Z6 for 1.
Just back up for a second. I'm sorry.
Sorry.
So I believe I can fire my machine gun at you from the truck. No? Yes? Yes. Fire the bow machine gun at you when you advance through BB6. But this is actually AA7 is actually in the covered arc for that port machine gun, so I think I can fire at you.
Yeah, for the port gun, yeah. I'm pretty
So
sure they're
it's-
not beholden to not shooting anymore.
4 flat? No, 2 flat.
It's assault move, so it's doubled and halved because you're still in motion.
Yeah, so
2 flat.
2 flat, yeah. Nothing. Okay, I'm sorry. Now go ahead with your
Yeah,
squad.
no worries. Z6 for 1. Also, because it's always important.
Yes.
And if nothing, they will continue into Z7 for 2.
Well, then I will fire at you with that guy.
Okay. So that's
So-
2 down 2.
2 down 2, yep. Ugh, just missed.
And you never know. And that's it for movement. Defensive fire phase. Rituals.
Sorry, thinking a moment here.
No worries.
W8 will shoot at W1.
Okay.
So that's 2 flat.
2 up 2.
movement modifier for open ground doesn't.
Not in defensive fireface. You only get it during the move. Nice.
So 2 up 2. That's a normal morale check.
And breaks.
R5 will fire at S4.
Mhm.
That is 4 up 3. That's nothing. T1 will fire as well at S4, which is 2 up 3.
Mhm.
Also nothing. But I believe you're encircled now. Okay. X6, the squad, as well as the machine gun under the direction of the leader, will fire at Y4, excuse me.
Okay.
I believe that is 6 up 3. It's either 6 up 2 or 6 up 3.
Up 3.
So nothing. W2 will fire at W4.
Mhm.
No, I'm sorry, that's W7 will fire at W4, not the other way around. Which is 2 up 3.
Okay.
And V6 will similarly fire at W4, which is under leader direction, which is 4 up 4, I believe.
Mhm.
Okay. Damn you, crappy Russian weapons. All right, I think that's it.
Alright, advanced fire phase. Berserks will shoot. So, let's just take up defensive fire here. So they're tripled, halved, so it's a 2 firepower. Ooh. 2 firepower. Vehicle number is a 4. There's a +1 for the mobilization attempt, and the white is over color. I'm already forgetting again. 2-hit process. Warden's hit if the colored die is less than the white die. So the colored die is less than white, which means, unfortunately, that is a turret hit. So, no effect, and your sniper. Sniper activates.
So 2 dice, yeah?
Mhm.
Oh.
So, should go to Y6. Which then just goes back to Y4. because the equidistant, the Y4 has no TM. Technically the hedge, but so they break. All right. The squad in Z7 will shoot at the vehicle in AA8.
Okay.
So same idea. 4 firepower, no effect. And no other shots. Road phase. Broken guy here has to go to X3 as it's the closest. Let's take off all these profires there. W1 has to route away. He can't go to. I'm pretty sure he can't go to X10 because he would be closer to. I can't see him. Is this 3? That's 3? Cool. So because W1, well, now you can see everybody else. Yeah, never mind. He has to low crawl, so he's going to low crawl to X1. The guy in X10 is fine where he is. And I have no other broken units.
I think surprisingly nobody I have broke, so.
Advanced fair. Or advanced phase. Right. Advanced phase, I'm going to have my squad in Z7 is going to attempt to go into AA8. So they will do their Patsy check. They do not pass their Patsy check. I forget if that pins them. I think it does. Patsy. Oh, come on. Where's the Patsy? Failure which causes users to become pinned. Alright, cool. So they are pinned, which means the leader is going to advance into the B7 or BB7 hex. The squad in W5 is going to advance into V5. And no, not worth it. Restaurant 24 is going to advance into X10. I'm going to have the half squad in Z3 is going to advance into Z4. The half squad in X3 will advance into X4. And the X2 squad will advance into X3. And that's it for advances. Close combat. The only thing is the vehicle. So let's look at this. So for CC against the vehicle, it's a value instead of a ratio. Now I have to figure out if it's a vehicle first or if it's infantry or not. Close combat.
This is in 11.5, right? CC versus a vehicle?
Should be, yeah.
Basic kill number of any vehicle in CC is the close combat value of the personnel attacking it.
Yeah, so basically I have a half squad, so it's 3, and a leader should be 1.
2 single man counters or 2.
Oh, 2. So I have 5 total. Instead of the base kill number, yada yada yada. CCV is modified.
The combat's inexperienced, I think.
Yeah, so there's a -1, so it's a 4.
But it's +1 for the SMC.
Which is, oh, you know what? I think it's if it's just a leader, it's 2. If it's a leader if he adds this thing to one. So it's 3.
3 flat, basically. They don't get a modifier. He cancels out the inexperienced mod.
Yeah, basically. I'm just trying to see.
Yeah, you just have to roll a 2 or 3.
Yeah, I'm just trying to remember if well, even a 2, there's still the +2 for being in motion. I'm just trying to see if because it's a CC against a vehicle is sequential, and I think how it works is it's the infantry who attack first, and then it's the vehicle who retaliates with applicable firearms. So, like, not all of the vehicle's guns will be okay. Just search keyword sequential. There you go. In the ensuing CC phase, the Russian will get to attack first because CC versus
attacks first, but he may make only 1 attack at that time. This is 11-3 31.
Yeah, that's exactly where we're pointing. All right, cool. So, modifiers. Motion is +2. Is there anything else? It's not unarmored. Is it?
Yes, it is an unarmored vehicle, so you have -3.
But is it unarmored for the purposes of CC? Because it's technically it's armored. That's why the immobilization thing is so peculiar about it. What's it say?
Yeah, it does technically. It doesn't have just the stars. It's actually got armor values, so I think it's technically armored. So, ugh, yeah, it's yucky.
Small arms attack, assault, yada. Yeah, it just says small arms, which is kind of weird because I would have expected I would have expected CC to have also been a factor in that. Like, if you can shoot at the tires or whatever, then why would you not be able to do it in that? But either way, that's how the counter is. Is there anything else? It's not partially armored. It's not open top. They are not crew exposed. Not a mobile. And I don't have any other stuff. Cool. So CC roll 9, definitely not gonna do anything. And now for the retaliation, which is I think the CMG and BMG. There's it's a specific set of machine guns that do stuff.
Do you remember, is the CMG VCA only? I believe it is. Yes, the CMG is VCA only.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure I get to fire back.
If you only if it's a
I'm reading 11.62. I think.
Yeah,
Same thing here.
It has a rear gun though, right?
Yes, it does.
So I think technically it can. It says the only other ways an AFV may attack in CC are with a rear machine gun factor. So you would have that going for you.
Okay, so we'll use the rear machine gun because I think that's all I can use. Because I don't think the side-mounted guns can be.
So all such firepower is used to form odds ratios versus the defender's CCV and uses a CCT black to kill numbers and is never increased due to any condition, although it can be halved due to motion versus concealed, etc. So the way I understand that is My CCV was 3,
3.
and your machine gun would technically be 2.
It's a 1 to 2. 1 to 2, yeah. No, it's
Yeah.
halved because of motion. So,
Yeah, but you're doubled. I'm pretty sure multiplication still applies.
okay. So I'm still 2 to 3, which drops me to a 1 to 2.
Yeah, unless I'm wrong, but let's see here. Yeah, make your roll, and I'll just read to see if. Uh, but because the tank's now mobile, you can eliminate on a DR5. This time attacks with a 5 firepower coaxial. No. Okay, so the firepower isn't double. Alright. Either way, 12 is whatever. And you get. I think you might be lucky too, because I think the original 12 only applies for infantry. Simultaneous.
You may withdraw from CC immediately.
Even against Viet.
Any infantry cavalry units attacked by an original 12 CCDR may likewise withdraw from CC immediately thereafter, assuming it has not been eliminated by that 12 CCDR.
Huh. I thought that was only if they were being shot by it. Alright, well.
I mean, I don't do anything with vehicles. Let's see.
Withdraw. I mean, I have no reason to withdraw anyways. I don't have a good spot to go to, and the berserkers are just going to chase you guys anyways.
Okay, yeah. I mean, if you wanted like the leader to withdraw or something like that, that's fine.
No,
I would be okay with that. The leader goes, yeah, no, and then
whatever. 1 turn left for movement. Yeah, whatever. So they'll just stay where they are, and I think that's it for CC. So, next turn.
Oh boy. Rallies. I don't think I have anybody to rally.
All right,
Yep.
cool.
Oh no, wait, I'm sorry. One thing. I'm gonna try and repair that machine gun.
Oh,
Fail again.
I just wanted to break. I got 2 rallies. I'll do my first one at board 59 AA2 with my disrupted guy. He does not rally. And then X10 will also not rally. Man, I've had some weird luck with my morales and rallies. And that's all I can do.
All right, prep fire. R5 will fire at S4.
Okay.
So 4 up 3. Pretty sure that's nothing.
It's a Pintash check, I think. Or no, wait, sorry.
Yeah, no, that's nothing.
That pin comes up. There you
V6 will fire at X4 on board 59.
Okay.
So four up 2 or up 3?
Against X4?
Yeah.
Should just be a +2.
4 up 2.
Yeah.
Leader is directing. Nothing. W7 will fire at X4. Also, it's a 2 up 2.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing. The machine gun will fire, the machine gun in X6 will fire at AA6.
Okay.
So that 4 up 4.
Mm-hmm.
And the squad in X6 with the leader directing will fire at X4.
Okay.
So that is 4 up 1. Nothing, barely. Movement phase.
Okay.
Let me do my infantry first. We'll move to T10.
Okay.
And then to S10.
I will shoot at him there. It's going to be a 4 firepower shot. It's a +1 for being encircled, -1 for the leader, and then another -2 for open ground and non-assault movement. So final 2 down 2. All right, and get your sniper. That's 1 on 2 is a KI8, so you're dead. All right. That's
Well, shit.
Okay, now it gets fun.
Okay.
I am going to be moving some vehicles, and I need you to make bog rolls.
Okay. I assume we're going with the AB up top or the bottom guys.
I'm sorry, the BB, the what is it? The BB7 and the AA8 are going to be moving. So
Cool. So, B, dice roll, dice roll, dice roll, and dice roll. Cool.
Okay, so they are already in motion, so I don't have to start them.
Mhm.
We are going to move. Does the motion counter come off? Yes, the motion counter comes off because I was in motion, but now it'll determine to see whether or not I stay in motion.
Well, now it's like you're physically moving, so you don't need to mark it with a motion counter.
Yeah, no, they won't get it back. It's somewhat important. So let's see.
Mhm.
So they are still platoon moving. So now this is where it gets fun.
Mhm.
Because I'm overrunning you.
Okay.
Sorry, I did not mean to move that out squad there. All right. So that's my movement. That is going to be 1/4 of my movement plus 1. So what's 15 quartered? Is that going to be?
So is it fractions rounded up or down?
I don't know.
I'm sorry, fractions rounded up, so it's going to be 4. It'll be 5 movement to do that. So that is 5 movement off of their movement.
Does it count the MP it takes to get into the hex as well, or is it just a quarter?
What it says, a vehicle that enters an enemy occupied location during the movement phase can attack that location's occupants by expending 1/4 of its printed MP allot. So I am reading that to
continue. So the overrun MP expenditure must be announced as a combined expenditure with that for the entrance of the hex as the vehicle enters the overrun hex.
Yeah, so it's 1 for the hex and then 5 for the overrun. So it would be 6. I'm sorry. Yes.
Well, so he's a truck, right? The truck is 4. So it's so you're paying 8.
It's gonna be 8. Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, I forgot.
Yeah, no worries. It's, I mean, overrun. It's a crazy thing. I figure man, I had a chart too. Where's my chart for this? Shit. I have a super handy chart for overrun. Where is it?
Oh, it's in the rule book.
I know, but like if you can, when there's
OVR1 is the page number.
Yeah.
The vehicle prepares to enter defender's location. If the location contains any known enemy units, any OVR must be declared before entering. We are overrunning. I did not bounding first fire. It's not a building. It's not a non-collapsed hut. Not bypassing, using reverse movement, or in a lumberyard hex. So it is expended movement point for entry is OVR, quarter predicted movement points, fractions rounded up, plus cost of terrain, so that's 8. So that leaves me with 7 movement points after this. There are no concealed personnel, correct?
That is correct.
I guess it's important. I don't know if we need to reveal that it's a bog or not, because it is somewhat important.
Sorry, I'm still looking. Because I know I have this chart, and it's gonna be good if I can use this chart. Defending infantry options declares overrun. Right. Ah, damn, it's not the same one. Whatever. So I have an option to either attack before the overrun happens or after the overrun happens.
Are you pinned?
No, their berserk won't pin and the leaders not pin. But I'll wait until after to do a CC reaction fire. All right, so overrun.
So I think, yeah. So I believe we're down onto the resolve OVR section now.
Yeah, overrun flowchart. There we go. There's one in the actual rule book. Vehicle prepares to enter defender's location. You enter it. Yada yada. Concealed personnel, terrain effects, defensive first fire. I'm not gonna bother with defensive first fire. Because I feel like that affects my CC reaction, so I'm not gonna bother.
So I think we're down to that resolve OVR box.
Yeah.
So I think it's considered an other AFV.
Yeah, so it's because it doesn't have a like a cannon or anything. So it's two. It doesn't have a flamethrower firepower, and then
3 halves times 4, which is
yes.
6, I believe.
So usable MG. It would be. I'm trying to figure out if it counts the port machine gun as being capable. Which I assume it must, because it points out that the rear MG can't.
Yeah, I mean, the covered arc does include part of the hex.
Well, it would be in, like, inherent hex. I think like for the purposes of OVR, I think it's possible. Like your guys like doing donuts around my guys or whatever, and just unloading on them.
Yeah, so I think that's 6. So I think that gives me an 8.
Yes.
There is no armor leader or passenger leader. I don't think there's any TEM.
No, there's no TM.
There is -1 DRM for infantry and open ground, which I believe we are.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure what the motion vehicle targets in there vulnerable. I don't think there are any. I'm not actually firing at a vehicle, so I think it's just an OVR roll now.
I think so. Usable MG. So the usable MG is the show info.
So reading 7.11, which is the firepower. First sentence is firepower base, which we figured out is 2. Firepower base is modified by adding to it the tripled and halved firepower of all manned and functioning MG/IFE armament on the vehicle, with the exclusion of RMG, period. So that says to me that the bow and the port can both fire.
The bow and port.
Yep. And that's it. So then I think I make an IFT table with an 8 firepower. Does that sound right?
Defending options. Yeah, it looks like I think it's just straight on the IFT.
An OVR and vehicle. Instead, the OVR is resolved on the IFT immediately after the MP expenditure. So yeah, okay. I'm gonna roll if that's all right. Are you satisfied?
Sure. Yeah.
No, bugger me. Nothing.
All right. Well, CC reaction fire.
Oh no, wait. I had a modifier, didn't I?
There's a -1 for open ground.
Yes, which barely puts it to a pin task check.
All right. Well, the berserks can't pin, but the leader will pass.
All right, so now you get to fire back.
So CC reaction fire is unbroken, unpinned, and neither unarmed nor in melee. May attempt CC reaction fire using the CC versus vehicle rules. To attempt CC reaction fire versus melee, even allowing an overrun, do you need to do the what's the chart here? Do you still need to do a patsy check on an overrun?
Yes.
Huh. Well, thankfully the
But
berserk and leader don't.
everybody there is exempt from it, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Alright, CC unarmed. No, the rest is just if there's anything else. Alright, cool. So the CC value was what, 3? There's a +2. I don't think there's any minuses. Yeah, CC is a nothing. Mark them as CC.
And I think they get first fire as well, technically.
Yeah. There you go.
Whee! That was fun. So that was 8. Uh, 9.
Okay.
$10 and stop for 11.
Okay.
So if you have any fire in there, that's my move expenditure.
Nope.
Woof. Well, that was fun. The truck will try to start itself and succeed.
Okay.
We'll spend 1 to turn.
Okay.
To move.
V5 does task check. They pin.
Three to turn.
Hmm.
4.
Hmm.
5 to turn and 6 to stop.
Okay.
One.
They both had to start, right?
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. I'll just do it was X7 and then X8. They both started.
Two total.
So that's 2 total, yes. I'm sorry.
The conscripts in the building will do their task check. They pin. And the conscripts in Z4 will do their task check. And they break. No, yeah. He passes and
Ooh, good for them.
becomes a 237.
Nice.
Yeah. I mean, I would have preferred it on like any of the other squads I had, but
Hey, you know, beggars can't be choosers, right?
yeah, exactly.
All right, so that's 2,
Hmm.
3.
Okay.
Four.
The group in AA6 will shoot at the first vehicle.
Okay.
So it's wow, there's like no point to even shoot the conscripts. It'll be 10 overall. It'll just be the whole entire thing. They're doubled for being adjacent. 12, sorry. It's 12, yeah. And there's a +2 for motion, I believe. It's the 2 kill number on 12. Just missed it. Goddamn. And I think I would have gotten the turret anyways. Alright, this guy takes his task check. He passes barely. Hardens, and then can Z5 see? No. Z5 cannot see X3, so that guy's fine for now.
I gotta say, I'm really confused as to how their range on their weapons gets better as a result of this.
The only thing I can offer is their steely resolve has allowed them to aim down their sights a little bit better, or to focus their attacks a little bit better at longer range.
Yeah, I mean it's kind of 6-1. It's just a really weird. Like I would expect maybe their firepower to go up, or perhaps their morale as they would, but the range just seems like a really odd thing to increase.
Firepower does go up. It's I can't battle harden those guys a second time, really.
No, I mean firepower is 4 regardless. Just their morale goes up 1 and their range goes up 1.
Oh, it's the box
That's
elites
a little bit
guys. That's
weird.
why.
That's all. Anyway, okay, so that was, let's see. Five, and I am not overrunning.
Okay. X3 does his task check. He will also pass. Cool. Glad I'm getting these at the end of the game.
The leader down there.
The leader? Nah, Broken Squad. Leader doesn't take it.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. No, sorry, sorry. Again, that's 6. Seven,
Okay.
8.
Mm-hmm.
And 1 more to stop.
Okay.
So 9 total.
Mm-hmm.
1,
Mhm.
2,
Okay.
3.
Okay.
And that's it.
Sounds good.
Defense fire.
I'm gonna have all three of these guys all shoot at X6. So that's 10 firepower up 5. Of course. So that ends my defensive fire. Take off defensive. These guys aren't in CC anymore.
Sorry, I was just checking my arcs there.
Mhm.
U7 will fire at the pin squad in V5. Both the coaxial and the main gun will fire. Oh, that's right. I can't combine them. I have to do this separately.
Yeah.
The coaxial will fire.
Okay.
So 2 have 1 up 3.
Mhm.
Nothing. And the main gun is 2 infantry. Other range is that, so 8. So I think it's a +3.
So the vehicle should get some DRMs, if I recall correctly, for as a fire-based hit determination stuff. Let's get the.
It's not outside CA. Fire is in the advanced fire phase, but I did enter a Hexus player turn, so I don't get that mod. That's C. I'm not doing bounding fire. I'm not doing. It's not a bounding first fire with restricted aim. It's not a bounding first fire with limited aim. Not firing a light anti-tank weapon. I'm not in motion. I'm not pinned. It's not within the hex. It's not intensive fire. It's not deliberate immobilization. It's not captured. We're not buttoned up. We're not CX'd, overstacked. There's no leadership mod. We're not encircled. There's no hero. No infantry on the wire. Spotted fire. We're not bypassing. We're not stunned. And we're not on the ocean during heavy surf. So I don't think there's any fire-based hit determination DRM, so just the target applies. It's not moving vehicular target. It's not defensive first fire.
So here's the thing. KC bounding fire. So a vehicle which has entered new hex during its movement phase but does not fire until its advanced fire phase is using bounding fire and always uses KC when firing ordnance. Vehicular ordnance which fires during its movement phase must use blah blah blah. That's movement phase. So you're using bounding fire, just not any of the crazier modifications.
Okay, so it's just case B, which is a +2.
It's KC as a bounding fire.
Yes, I do. Bounding fire, case B plus MAAMG, which it's not. It's not a stabilized gun. It's not a TST. Sorry, what's that?
It's not a turret, but it's a no turret is the thing. Where's the
Okay, so
wait, is that really a restricted slow turret? Or is that large thick? Okay, never mind. So it's a slow turret traverse, so it's an ST type. So it's ST. +2. So it's a
+4 net for that. All right.
+4,
so,
+3 for the building.
So I cannot hit.
You could. So the only two reasons why you would want to shoot, one, you get acquisition, and since you're stopped, you would be able to shoot like in the next turn and so on. And the only other benefit is in case you ever roll like Snake Eyes or something really good, where you then get a critical hit. So up to you at that point. But
Yeah, no, we'll
acquisition
fire
is
it,
always
why
good.
So here we go to hit with DR. Nothing.
So you get the AC, and that's it. Actually, no, it's a rate of fire 1, never mind.
I think I forgot to turn this squad as well. It should face in the same direction. All right, now comes some fun goofiness. Z3 will fire its starboard machine gun at X3.
Okay.
So that's 1 up 1, I believe. So 1 up 1, that's a 3, 1 MC. And your sniper can't activate.
So MCs, brakes, and ELRs. The other guy casualty reduces. And sniper does not activate.
Okay. The bow machine gun will fire at. No, we will not fire it. Actually, take that back. So, what's the rules for firing at units in my hex?
Let's see. It'll be added, yada yada yada, fired separately.
Oh, also for future reference, the case B to hit the RM does not apply to vehicle machine guns. Firepower is halved, so that takes care of that mod.
Yeah. God, where is it? I don't think it says. I think it's just where it's in the hex. So it's, from how I understand it, be doubled, halved. That's it.
Not considered point blank? Or triple point blank?
I forget if that's applicable to an AFV, but I'll check. Point blank fire. AFV, NCC not applicable. Bypass. Oh, just says attacking unit. Yeah, then should be fine. So triple halved. So it's
All right, so
two
the question
anyways.
is, what can fire? Just the bow and starboard machine gun? Just starboard bow? What do we think? You know what? Probably not the bow, just because the covered arc I think doesn't include the hex you're in.
C 5.5. No, that's within.
Yeah, the bow can't fire because the CA does not enter its own hex. The CA starts at the hex side.
Mm,
But the wacko little diagram they drew for the port and starboard does include the hex, weirdly enough. So what do you think?
yeah, I don't see anything that says otherwise.
All right, so it's just the starboard machine gun will fire. So that's 2. Tripled, I think. So
And
6.
halved.
Halved is 3, so it's 2.
Mhm.
2 flat, maybe?
Mhm.
Nothing. Sorry, that was a lot of work for not much.
No worries. It's good to explore these things. Because at worst, like you find the rule, and at best, you find the rule and learn something.
Yeah, that's true.
Get to
Okay,
use it for future stuff.
the rear machine gun on CC7 will fire at BB7.
Okay.
So doubled halved, so it's 2 flat.
Okay.
DD6's port machine gun, or I'm sorry, we'll start with the port machine gun here will fire at Z7.
Okay.
That's 2 halves, so 1 flat.
Mm-hmm.
4 is a normal morale.
They're fine.
Okay. DD6 will fire. You know what? I'm sorry. I screwed that up. Just realized that the rear machine gun on this could not have fired at that.
Yeah, whatever. Got no result, so
Yeah.
not a big deal.
Just letting you know.
Mhm.
So yeah, the port machine gun here will fire at Z7.
Okay.
It's a 1 up 1. Barely nothing. Routing.
You got any?
I don't
think
think
so.
so.
Okay. X1 has to route. He can't route towards Z10, so he's going to route to V10. This guy is eliminated. And these two guys are just going to stay where they are. And that's it for routes.
Advance phase. We'll advance there.
Mm-hmm.
Advance there.
Oops.
Sorry, did I screw something up?
No, I almost screwed something up. It's fixed now.
Yeah, and that's it.
Cool.
No close combat, I believe.
No. Let's come off. That guy's still berserk.
Oh, you know what I forgot?
Weather?
No weather change.
Okay. That's fine. Still no weather change. Rally phase. 5. Way better. Self rally is going to be V10. Close, but no. DM's going to come off. I'm going to take off the DMs in X3. AA2 is going to attempt to rally. That's a that is a pass. Thanks for the woods. Nobody's broken there. X10 will attempt to rally. Come on, Resro. He passes barely. And that's it for rallies. I'm gonna have to commend that Resrup guy.
I don't think I have anybody, so
Yeah, just thinking about stuff.
let me see if I can clear that rear machine gun. 1 sec.
Oh yeah.
Nope.
All right. Okay, that'll be cute to do.
Oh, I'm assuming I didn't bog when I was doing that movement.
You were on the road for the bottom group. The top group, you were fine.
Yeah, no, the top group was the one you rolled for. Can you give me just a minute? I need to take a quick fire break.
Oh yeah, yeah, sure. All right, so while he's not here, I think I might have won this. I need 9 buildings. I got 4 up here, and another 4 here, and I got a building in V5. I've also got a building in AA6. So unless things go really wrong, I should be fine.
Are
And
you
I'll
whispering
probably,
to your stream again?
yeah, of course. All right, prep fire phase. AA6 is going to tickle the men in X6. It's 8 fire power up 4. Still nothing. Cool. Okay. I will have S4. We'll shoot at R5. So it's a 8 up 3. That is also a nope. Can't really do anything with that guy. That guy's kind of whatever. No, okay. Movement phase.
Bye.
Yeah, Berserk guy is going to go with the leader. They're going to go into CC7. Actually, I think the Berserk has to move alone. Maybe not. Berserk. Multiple Berserk, they don't, blah blah blah. No, so the Berserk guy has to go first.
What's the effect of firing into that space? Just out of curiosity.
Into CC7?
Yeah, so if I fire with an adjacent unit, for example.
There'd still be a +1 for the vehicle. You do have it doubled, and you get the reduction for. I'm not sure if a vehicle actually removes open ground, but the one of the bigger effects of shooting at moving units, especially under these circumstances, is you put down residual firepower. And residual firepower is good because it prevents other units from getting a quote unquote free ride into the same destination hexes.
Yeah, no. I meant, was there any chance of hitting my own unit there?
No, because in the movement phase you're only shooting moving units.
Ah, okay. Then yes, the other vehicle, the one in this hex, will fire. Can the unit in the hex fire at them coming in? Yeah, they're tripled, right?
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll start with that then. So that's 6 So 2 tripled.
Mhm.
And I think it's open ground, so +1 or -1, -2.
Mhm.
So 6 down 2, I think. So that's a 3, which is K/2.
Alright, well, wouldn't matter anyways. K is a reduction. Six, so 2 residual. And that gets not moved. Alright. Leader is going to go into AA7. And continue into AA6.
Yep, that's fine.
The squad is going to go into Y7.
All right, the port machine gun on this guy will open up.
Okay.
That's 2 down 2.
It's at least down
I'm
one
sorry,
because of the vehicle.
Down 1 because of the other vehicle.
But
So that's a 5 on 2, which is a normal morale check.
yeah, hold on. I'm trying to double check here. If it is combined with any other effect of LOS hindrance. So does a vehicle count as LOS hindrance? I think it does. Oh, come on. You can't just put that in the one spot for inferences?
What are you looking up?
So D9.4. There's a +1 DRM hindrance to a same level LOS for firing through X containing one or more AFVs or REX. Yada yada yada. So the important point is that a hindrance nullifies first fire movement in open ground. So there's a non-assault movement that you get the -1 for, but you get a +1 for the wreck. So it's a flat 2 instead of a down 1 2.
Okay, so it's a pin test check.
Okay. Task check. They pin. And there's no residual. The squad in V5 will assault move into U5.
Okay, we will fire at you with the vehicle.
Mhm.
We'll lose that, and it is. Can I fire at you with the main gun too?
You just can't do the combination.
Yep. Okay, so it's 2 flat. No, 2 down 1, right?
Yes, for open ground.
That is a 3, which is 1 MC.
And they break.
And then I declare the main gun, so I guess we'll fire that anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So it's an 8. You're in the open, so there's none of that. I think it's just a flat 8, correct? No, I get a -1 for the FMMO.
Yeah, so
Okay, there's-
minus
there's any
1 for
fire
that
based
MO, but that's it. And yeah, that's it.
All right, so it's -1. I'm rolling under the number. Is that correct?
Yeah, so you hit.
That's a hit.
It's 37.
That's a 4 firepower.
Mm-hmm.
Just use the same roll, or do I need to make a?
No, you roll
So-
IFT to determine effect. 7 on 4, pin test check, which they can't take.
Yeah, they're already broken.
What else? The squad and leader down in 59 AA2. They will assault move into AA3.
Okay.
My Res Rep 24 and the squad with them will declare CX. They will go into W1 for 1.
We'll pot shot you. Sure, why not?
Okay.
So 2 up 2. Down 2.
It's a
The
plus 2
two
for
flat
hindrance and non-assault movement, so 2 up 1.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Okay. 2 up. Oof. So 4. That's a 1 MC.
Leader first, breaks and bricks.
And it's not my turn, so I don't think the sniper can activate.
It's your shot. It's not about turn. The squad and X.
Apparently their front sights on their rifles.
The Russians barely realizing that there's sights on the rifles.
Apparently, I mean, you've gotten a lot of good rolls. I think you've been making up for the last like 4 or whatever. X4 is going to assault move into Y4.
Okay. The vehicle there will fire at him with the machine gun.
Mm-hmm.
I believe it's doubled, so that's 4. Down 1.
Yep.
So 4 on 4 is a 1 MC.
And breaks. And that's it for movement.
All right, defensive fire. R5 will fire at S4.
Mm-hmm.
4 up 3. Nothing. V6 will fire at W4, which is 4, up 4.
Mm-hmm.
And the whole stack in X6 will fire at W4 as well. So that is 6 up 3.
Mhm.
Pass check.
Sniper.
No. Sure. Z8 will fire at AA6.
Okay.
That is a 2 up 5.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, over to you. All done with defensive fire.
Okay. Defensive. My squad in AA3 will shoot at the vehicle adjacent. It's 8 down, well, 8 flat technically for the purposes of potential immobilization. The 10. No. Well, it'd be
Nope,
halved
not even
anyways,
roll.
but whatever. No other shots. Right. Unit in PU5 is going to go into T5 since he can't see the R5 guy.
Yep.
The W1 group is going to route into V10. The Y4 guy is going to route into X3. And that's it for routes. Advances. The only one I care to make is AA3 into Z3. The squad has to take a passy check. So they pass it, and I forget if advance. No, you can't trigger a sniper in the advance phase, I don't think. Double check here. No. Cool. So they're there. And that's it. CC phase. I have an actual full squad. So it's a squad with an SMC, so it's 6. The vehicle is not in motion. I get a -1 for my leader. And I'm pretty sure that's it. So, yay! It's eliminated. And not a burning wreck.
So if I recall, I do not get to fire back, correct?
I don't believe so because of the sequential nature of it. Is there anything that says otherwise? Oh, also, because this actually will come into play. So, I'm just gonna. Can I copy this? Alright, so we'll clone this. Oops. Turn it into a wreck. So now it's there, but the vehicle has a crew survival rating of 4. And since I didn't get enough to turn it into a burning wreck, you get to roll 2 dice. And if you roll a 4, you get a vehicle crew. Dang.
So no, and I think that's it.
I believe so.
Whoops, sorry about that.
And last turn. Take pins on.
I don't think I have anybody to rally, but I will try and repair that machine gun for the last time.
It's stubborn rare machine gun.
And it breaks.
Of
Good for you.
course. Look at the draw. I have one possible rally, which is Resrup. Hopefully, he will redeem himself. He will not. He, in fact, does such a poor job and then he dies. Easy come, easy go. I salute you, Resrup. You did what you could.
Good job, Resurrep. You probably saved that squad.
Probably not.
Well, yeah.
Hot dice kind of screwed him over. Yeah, so that's it for rallies.
Sorry, yeah, I think I'm done there. Prep fire.
It was a valiant effort, Resrup.
Oh, we'll be watching in the stream.
Yeah.
CC7, the port machine gun is going to fire at Y7.
Okay.
So 2. I think that's it, just 2 flat.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing. And DD6 will also fire at Y7.
Okay.
That is up 1, so 2 up 1. And no. Why not? X6 will fire at AA6. We'll continue trading our machine gun fire here.
Sounds good.
6 up 5, I believe, or no, 6 up 4. Excuse me. And the leader will direct. Nothing. And the machine gun breaks.
Hooray.
Yeah, V6 will fire at W4.
Okay.
4 up 4. Nothing. Movement phase. The truck will attempt to start and succeed. That's 1. We'll turn for 2.
Okay.
3.
Mm-hmm.
4.
Okay.
And 5 to stop.
Okay.
One,
Okay.
2.
Mm-hmm.
Are the wooden buildings 2?
Any building is 2.
Then yeah, we'll stay right there.
I think like factory is different, but
R5 will assault move to S6.
all right. I'll take a shot at him with S4. It's just a 8 up 3. 8 on 8. Normal morale check.
Succeeds.
Hooray!
That guy's platoon got broken, but I don't think it matters because it was broken by enemy action.
So because he wasn't in the process of moving, I believe is how it works. So because he's no longer in a platoon, I think he just needs to roll task check once, and that's all that needs to be done, I believe.
Yeah, all right, I'll roll with that. That sounds fine to me.
Platoon movement.
And I believe he passes that.
Yeah.
All right, so 1 movement point to start.
Mhm.
Succeed.
Roll for the engine. Oh yeah.
Yep, that's what the other is there.
Mm-hmm.
Come on. 2.
The group in AA6 will shoot at him.
All right.
So it's 16 firepower. There's the +2 for the moving vehicle, then the +1 to determine for the mobilization stuff. Oh my god, I might actually get a result. That was on 16, 9, no.
1 MC. But
No, so you use the number at the top. So the
yes,
16
exactly.
firepower, so 9. No, it's the 9 number, right?
Yeah, so you rolled a 9, didn't you?
There's a checks for mobilization on the IT, get a +1. So had I rolled a 6, I would have gotten it. But I rolled a 7.
So I need to make a task check for this?
No, there's no effect.
Okay.
Unless because so the reason why you don't do a check is because it's technically an armored vehicle. The only reason why there could be an effect is because of the special rule for the immobilization of said vehicle.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's 2.
Mm-hmm.
3.
Mm-hmm.
4 to turn.
Mm-hmm.
5.
Mhm.
6.
Mhm.
7.
Mhm.
8 to turn.
Mhm.
And 9 to stop.
Okay.
That's everybody.
All right. I think we can call it here.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the victory condition is I need 9 stone building locations. I have. Where's my? There we go. So I have 1 in AA6, and then I have 4 in this group, 4 with these guys, and a 10th in V5.
If only that guy hadn't gotten whacked in S10.
Honestly, so if there's 2 comments to make, one for this turn specifically, the group in V6, I would have CX'd the leader with the guys. You would have gotten, I think you get 7 with the leader. So if you took your R5 guys and you assault move them or you do whatever in R4 or S5, you basically force my guys to shoot. Like not necessarily, but uh, it'd be foolish of me to let that stand, especially if you go from R5 into R4. Then you just use the last remaining movement to get into R3. It would take a victory location away from me immediately, and then if you survive for whatever reason, you then get to advance. So you could take R2, for example. So after you move this guy, then you CX this group, and then you go bypass in V7 for 1, U8, T8, S9, S10.
Is it 7? I thought it was just 5. They have 3 movement, remember?
So when they CX with the leader, they get the leader bonus, right? So they technically have 5, but if you CX, you get an extra 2, or you should get an extra 2, unless we mess that up. Because that's how I was getting my movement from the opening position into that open ground up top. So you could have potentially gotten into at least these 3 buildings. The other thing too, and I wouldn't have expected you to know this. This is a very sleazy thing, but something that's entirely legal and possible. And I'll bring up the rule. So if anybody watches this video, they'll be able to understand the sleaze as well. They call this sleaze because it's kind of, some people think these tactics shouldn't be used or that they're kind of bad for whatever reason. So when you had your vehicle in W7, when it was over in S7, I was honestly expecting you to bring him into R6, then bypass in here, and then either sit there and plonk at the guys in S4, or you can do what's called a VBM sleaze, a vehicle bypass movement sleaze. Now, the reason why this is important is because if we look at A7.212, it says a unit does not have freedom to attack units in other locations while its own location is occupied by a known enemy unit, even if disrupted, unless the only known enemy unit in its location is an unarmored vehicle. Whenever a unit is eligible for triple point blank fire versus a known enemy unit, it can attack only those units. So, what people do in terms of sleaze is they put up a vehicle. Now it's not an armored, it's an armored vehicle, but it's still open top and it's kind of restricted in its ability to survive. But if you're in bypass movement in any of these hex sides, then you can just chill there, and I have to attack them. And even if my guys do kill it, through sheer force of will or whatever, they've still expended their first shot against that unit. So anybody else that moves basically has freedom of movement because of the distance limitations on a subsequent first fire. Um, there's a couple other sleazy things that people can do, and there's a what's called the Big Black Book of ASL Sleaze. So, for example, um, it's let's say it's your turn, which it is. If you had your V6 guys, you like where they are, but you don't like them getting shot by W4 guys. So what you would do is you would take this group and you'd assault move it into say V7. They can regularly move really, but the point is just getting them out of line of sight. Nothing happens during your turn, and then you advance back into V6. Personally, I fucking hate that sleaze. I think it's the dumbest one. Um, but it's technically within the rules. It's entirely legal. It just kind of unfairly advantages the defender in certain situations. But the VBM sleeves is one of the more well known and commonly encountered ones. But otherwise, like I think
I
did
think
a
that
really
would work
good
a
job.
lot better if I had armored vehicles. I feel like these vehicles are just a little bit too flimsy for that,
Yeah,
particularly that truck.
but
Um, I,
it all comes back to again, not to say that your play was bad. I think you did some really good moves with the vehicles, especially. The defensive positions were always going to be tough, even though maybe it was entirely too focused on one side. Like it was still good for what it was. The when you retreating your guy up here was a really good move. It really exacerbated my ability to get in there. Having your one guy pull back and get into eventually S6 was also a really good move. Um, Yeah, like it was as soon as I started having guys break, it was impossible to get into here. So it was mainly just containment. Um, Maybe could have been a little bit more aggressive at certain points, but whatever. That comes with time. But yeah, uh, not sure how I feel about this one to be honest. Um, you got any thoughts on it?
it's a tough defensive position
Mm,
because the terrain is really crappy on that southern board, or it's not the southern board. What the hell is it?
well, the I just call it lower board. It's like
The
Western.
lower board, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there's some good defensive positions in those buildings, obviously. I think I would have put the machine gun in AA6 was a mistake. It should have probably gone back either into the building on the upper board in the
Hmm.
AA5 building up there. That might have been fun. But I don't know. I was a little bit. I wasn't really.
I think
I don't know exactly which way. Like, there's a lot of ways you can come. There's three basic ways you can come in,
mhm.
and I wasn't quite sure how you were going to divide your forces up and that sort of thing. So it was a little bit tough to pull that firepower back. But in hindsight, I probably should have.
Well, so that's like the true hardship of defense is learning like how you're going to divide all your forces everywhere. Um, I think if anything, the other suggestion I would put mainly also for me as well because I don't use it nearly enough is fire lanes. So like if you had say the machine gun in Z8, if you had a fire lane that goes down these hexes, that cuts a lot of what the German player could potentially do. Um,
Yeah, I guess I just wasn't expecting.
the horde there, yeah.
Yeah, the horde sprint that way. That's all. That's my mistake. I was thinking you might try and push some guys around there, but I wasn't expecting to put, you know, like a quarter
Yeah,
of your force or 30% of your force that way. That's all.
yeah, yeah.
Um, yeah, I should have moved some of the guys out from this end of the village sooner. In hindsight, I didn't need quite that many guys over there, particularly once I started breaking those troops. They should have moved out probably 3 or 4 turns ago. I should have started pulling some units, sucking some more units out to try and
Hmm.
counter that move you had made. I think the vehicles were fine. I thought the turrets made things very fiddly, just from a mechanical standpoint. I think it's fine for what they were representing.
Hmm.
Um, just it was weird getting used to them, and the fact that they were restricted to the roads was kind of interesting. just from a play. Like I was really kind of like I was dreading getting bogged down on that northern part of the map. To be honest, I'm still a little bit unclear as to the larger canon. Like I think I need to reread the ordnance stuff.
Gotcha.
That I used it, but I'm still like I understand the kind of the targeting bit, but the to hit and everything else was really a little bit baffling, to be honest. So I just need to go back and redo those. But other than that, I think the movement and such was pretty straightforward. I mean, it's not, you know, it's really weird that they point you at the hex spines. Like that just seems really kind of yeah, I just don't even know. Like it's a weird choice, and it's just is a little bit tough to get used to be honest.
Yeah, it's definitely something that you get more accustomed to the more you play with them.
I guess I kind of don't get the reasoning for it, but you know, hey, whatever. That's what they chose. But yeah, it was a little bit weird to get used to that. I would like a little bit more room. I think. Like this, I think is about the limit of vehicles on a map of this size. Other than that, they start to get in each other's way.
Mm. Well, I think one of the major downsides is that because they're forced to platoon movement, it does feel like it's more cluttered.
Yeah, you know, I don't know. I don't really mind the platoon movement all that much, to be honest. It just makes you think ahead, and you know, I kind of divided them up a little bit so that they could move around without, you know, a couple vehicles seemed like a reasonable platoon to me, and honestly, I didn't find it all that difficult to do. The only thing I would have liked is maybe a hex of separation to try and allow them to not get in each other's way sometimes.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, these things, you drive them up somewhere, you park them, and they fire a broadside. It's like, you know, we're doing sailing battles here.
It's colonial naval combat there.
I mean, I got lucky that they ended up in movement mode. I think that probably saved me in that mode, and I'm kind of glad I got to use Overrun. That was a lot of fun. I like doing that. Other than that, yeah, no, it wasn't too bad. I mean, you know, all in all, I think my rolling was really crappy for the first half of this, but then the shooting picked up immensely in the last.
Oh yeah, way more in the last two turns. You're right. Do you have pull up your average? I feel like your IFT got an average of like 5. You were rolling 3s on both of them.
No, my IFT was a 7.24.
Yeah, you got a couple. Well, there was the. Yeah, you had a bunch of like 10s and 11s at near the end, but yeah, some absolutely crazy. Some crazy like the 2. You had a bunch of 3s as well. And also, this is also.
My morale pass checks were quite good. I was passing morale checks. Good.
Yeah.
The other thing I really hate 2 range.
Yeah.
The range is really annoying.
It's okay. Once we get out of Russian counters, what's the next one's the Fox's First Bite, which doesn't have Russians, and then the next one will be next one after that is Czechs versus Russians. So if anything, you can be the Czechs. I'm sure they'll have some good range on that one.
No, I don't know. I didn't mind it. It was just kind of like
super limiting
movement fire. It's like kind of yeah, why bother? I mean, I guess I can take a pot shot at a 1, but
yeah,
it gets a little bit frustrating. And the little defense down here was kind of like yeah, we might as well have been chucking rocks to each other.
Well, yeah. So that's another problem is like because your conscripts can't move as much, and I don't have smoke, I can't really like I could bonsai. But if I'm too aggressive, and the conscripts with 6 morale, they were breaking left, right, and center. So if I lose too many units, then that just gives you the green light to pull away and go up north. The next scenario is the Fox's First Bite. It's the ID code is TGW2, and it's it's in the module ASL The Great War, which is a free module that can be found on what was it, Kote 1664?
Yeah.
Yeah, so cote1664.net. If you go there, it's a French website, but on the right side there's a navigation section, and if you click on ASL The Great War, you can pick up the 2 scenarios that the guy has made, as well as the specific rules that they created. It's interesting.
Rules. Yes.
It's an interesting set of scenarios, but I must admit I will be happy once we're done with it.
Yeah, actually had a question for you. I was looking over the scenario a little bit.
Hmm.
How do you want to represent the deep trenches?
Oh, I think deep trenches are. I think there's an overlay. I'm trying to see here. Because I think I pulled it up last time. Yeah, I think it's this. I could be wrong, and that could be more gully. Oh, it's actually a dried stream. Damn. What? What would be? I don't know. We'll figure something out. As long as it looks like a trench, or we'll just put trench counters and just label them like deep trench or something.
Okay, yeah, no problems. I didn't know if there was like an overlay or something that we need to do.
Yeah. Rez, if you, I'm not sure. I should have it on the Twitch page. If you're ever curious, you can on the Twitch page. I should have a link to the scenarios, to the entire list I'm going to be using and that we're going to be playing through. If not, just check the thread. The first page on the thread for this entire series that's on Something Awful. And yeah, you can look at the scenarios. I add some as I buy scenarios and add to my collection. There's a lot to go, and I guess the major sneak peek is that we will be doing, once we get out of World War One, it's going to be straight into Russian Civil War, and there's going to be a lot of interesting stuff. Basically, finishing off the Le Francs-Tireurs from the Cellar Pack 4. So a lot of good things to look forward to, because their LFT is a really good scenario design group. But yeah, I guess that does it for tonight. You've already got the scenario, so
How do you feel like playing?
you know what? I don't really have a preference. If you have a preference, then fine by me for you to choose. I haven't really looked at the scenario. I think it's the Germans are attacking defensive positions. So, I mean, if you want to play defense again, then by all means. If not, let me know and I'll build the French side.
No, I'll defend again. I like playing the French.
Okay.
French in World War One are
A treat.
I like playing. You know, I like the red pants. What can I say? And I got to be honest. I think the more experienced player needs to play the Germans in this one, because it's going to be a bit of a tough one for them, I think.
Yeah, I'm actually interested now to now that you mention it, to see what what the score is on the scenario archive, to see like if there's an advantage. I don't think anybody has ever. I forget if anybody even played Breakout. I think like we're one of the 2 of 4 people that ever played it, I think. So yeah. Anyways, yeah, that's fine by me. Just let me know, send me the save file, and we'll get this going on Saturday, barring any crazy issues.
Yeah, I'm going to actually send you 2 save files to do some testing, if you don't mind. I want to
Oh,
see
okay, right, for the LOS.
Yeah, if
Okay.
that program is what's breaking the LOS or if it's something else.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, I'll hit you up in Discord sometime the next day or 2.
Yeah, sounds good.
Good night. Good night,
Yeah,
stream.
cheers. And thanks, Frizzer, for watching, and anybody else who happens upon these videos.